Hi everyone, I hope you're doing okay. I'm just showing you that I'm doing some cactus. I can't seem to kill them as house plants. I've got a new vase here. I'm going to start putting them in different little vases like this that I picked up. The garden outside's doing good. So I just figured I'd come over here and see what y'all were doing. See if I can switch this around. I don't know. Penny's in here with me. The air is on and it's making me cough too. So I hope everyone's beating the heat. But no, it don't seem to want to reverse on me. So sorry about that. I guess that'll be your view. Because I can't get it to switch. Excuse me. But with the heat, I got to watch a lot of videos and catch up with a lot of people's videos. I do want to say, if you have a chance to spend an evening just listening to music on Saturday night, Julie and her husband always have great video shows. They play music and sing. It's very enjoyable. Many Saturday nights I'll be on the patio with a fire and just sit back and relax and listen to what all's going on. But of course, I can't get in the chat or anything when I'm outside like that. You can't see it. And there's a lot of conversations being brought up about the micro trends of minimalism. And, in a way it does help senior citizens, but their goal is to own very little, these minimalists. And they're always suggesting quality over quantity, which it's a good pattern to have if you're waiting to get things cash on the barrel, save the money before, seniors, we're just going to go out and spend. And then they're talking about you repairing what you own and sewing things, patching them up and, extending the life of your clothing and your products, your appliances, Well, sure, if it's a top that I really like, I am going to fix it if something's happened to it. But I would expect it to be made well enough so I don't have to repair it. And quality to me is if it goes through the wash and comes out good, that's quality. And, like I said, conscious consumption of what we're buying is more important, with the durability of each of these products that we buy. Consumerism in America is something we just consume a lot. And, they like to call us seniors, the baby boomers, who are now known as Generation Jones. They call us eaters, and I don't see that. I've never kept up with the Joneses because I didn't want to live in debt. And another thing they bring up is the zero waste. You don't waste anything. You don't buy single-use items and toss it away, like paper napkins, paper plates, paper towels, even toilet paper. They use cloth toilet papers, But, that's their generation, their choice, but I need the convenience and the comfort in retirement. They're talking about electric bikes instead of cars. Well, at my age, I can really see me going through any weather to get where I need to go on an electric bike. Besides, I don't want to jack up my electric bill charging the thing. If I have a vehicle, I know I got to keep it insured. I know that it needs tags. I know that it's got to be maintenance. Then I just don't drive that much anymore unless I'm going on a trip. Which, then again, back in the day, we went places by the gallon of the gas because gas prices were still higher than they are cost of living wise to what we're paying today. I mean, I think of them electric bikes and I'm like, no, I need shock absorbers of a car when I'm riding, That's just how it is. Now, they're always talking about do-it-yourself projects, and yeah, I'm all for doing what I can, okay? But I know what products I'm going to buy and not waste my money from trial and error. I'm big on my Ajax and a certain laundry soap because of my allergies, and bleach. Vinegar is a good one too. But I'm not going to start making homemade products to clean my house with, things like that. I am at an age where I don't want to do what I'm not normally doing now. Gardening, yeah, okay. Growing food is an enjoyment of mine. But I already own my canning supplies, okay, that I need. But the thing is, you get older, the pot gets heavier. William has to help me on them things now. It's like weeding the garden, this takes physical strength. So kudos to the minimalists for learning these things and these ways to save money and to improve their life, But I notice a lot of them are single, and singles do pay more in taxes, things like that, than a married couple. And I know they can't really afford children today. And it's just a lot of things they got to look at, is maybe why minimalism come out. I don't know. At my age, if you're doing your best, it's better than feeling guilty about things you can no longer do. I mean, sure, I used to ride a bike. I used to walk everywhere. It's just not at my age. Not now, Sure, I see other countries do it all the time. But I figure if I can walk 2 miles, my health is good. And my goal is to get to that point. Over a mile, but, I have my bad days, Depends on the weather, And anyone my age understands what I'm saying. But, we have the choices, to socialize in some capacity outside of the internet, where I don't want everything I'm doing being done through the internet. I'm not even up on AI and ready for a robot to hand me a cup of coffee if I go out to eat. I'm not there yet. I'm not there for the robotic surgeries. I'm just not there yet. But outside of the internet, we have the choice, since we no longer work, we can volunteer, we can spend more time with family and friends, we can go to the gym or the clubs, and I know that a lot of people use the gyms even throughout life, and they join clubs and things like that. My speed of joining a club would be maybe a garden club, definitely a book club, and discussing books. I love to read. I would like to have a membership at the Y. To me, that would be a good club for me. I'm not ready for scope and going somewhere to have my meals that aren't even fit for me to eat, and that's how I look at what meals they serve. I mean, I'm looking into educational classes because I want to understand the definition of some of these AI terminologies. I'm going to go to the bookstore and look for one with my grandson next week. And, we can always be an advocate, on anything political or locally, I'm talking politically, to help our town and our community. I mean, there's involvement in churches. We have some great churches that work together for our homeless shelters, for our maternity ward, and for drug abuse people wanting help, rehab, drug rehab. I know that we don't have a lot of things other towns have. We have bus transportation if we want to get around, and we have a walking crew, that's what I call them. They go out to the mall and they walk, but, they walk as a group, and clock in their time, because by how many laps you can do, and this is walking laps, tells them how many miles. Well, I know I'm a little over a 1 mile marker, but I want to do better, do more on getting further, because I don't want to collapse at no mall or something, but there is a clinic out in our mall, so they wouldn't have to take me far. But, even if you have a cane or a walker, you can join so many different things, like the walking crew out at the mall. I've seen people in wheelchairs doing it, and this is good, it's activity. But when it comes to minimalism, I gotta say that downsizing and decluttering really put me in a different perspective on my buying habits, my spending habits, so to speak, what it was costing me financially, how some things were just a waste of money, and what things weren't a waste of money. But once I downsized and created a space for the things that were important for my own comfort zone, life seemed to come together better for me on, my health, my mental thoughts on retirement, just different things that I felt I had been addressing over time to learn. I have inactivated it into my life since William has retired. He does have some health issues, and he has to see a specialist or two, and we'll work on it one day at a time. And if all in all, it works out for us, we'll take a vacation and go somewhere. But you know how medical costs can be, and that will be a factor on whether we get to go anywhere this year. But we're keeping our home up, we're keeping our yard happy for us. And like I said, we live one day at a time, We do the best we can do as we can do it. But anyway, I want to say hello to everyone. I hadn't been on here for a while. Penny says hello. Say hello, Penny. Say hello. And we're going to wish you a happy day. All right. Bye-bye.